Hi guys, my name's Seb Tudor and I'm the man on Silver Mountain. How's it going? Welcome back. And today I wanted to have just a quick talk about some of the other misconceptions about coaching. Because after I did the kind of what is coaching the other day, I was quite vague. I did kind of run through it, and there is a lot more to it than what I could really explain in the video. Um, like in short terms anyway. But one of the things that people come up to me fairly regularly and say is, so you tell people how to live their lives. I'm like, no, that's in no way what I do. Um, and the best way I can explain it is, if you think of a life coach as, or at least in regards to the way that I practice, as a fitness coach. You go along and you tell that fitness coach that you've missed leg day one too many times and you want to improve on that. Or like myself, after finishing um, rather stressful work, you put on some weight again and you want to lose it. You go to them and you tell them what you want, and then they will sit you down and talk with you and come up with a plan, be it a dietary plan, be it a fitness regime, be it a combination of the two, be it something slightly further out there. If you've got medical conditions or injuries as well that impact what you're doing, then they're talking about those, taking them into account, realizing how much you can and can't do, and moving through that. They will lay that plan out with you, and then after the fact, they will try and help you stick to that plan and help you achieve it. Coaching is very much the same way. All I do is ask questions. Like on a very, very, very rare occasions that a client either specifically asks for an opinion or specifically wants some information that I may very well have from the things that I've done in the past. For example, I've had clients, some of the students I've worked with, who have talked to me in regards to interview and CV bits and pieces because they were applying for jobs or internships or apprenticeships or any other combination of things after they finished their qualifications, and they've come to me asking me for a little bit of help with their CV or with their their interview kind of attitude and perceptions of the interview to allow them to do better in it. In those instances, then they've asked me for a little bit more information than just me asking them questions, because they don't know. And the little bit of information that I can provide from when I was doing interviews, when I was looking through CVs, and when I was helping people in those areas as well, those are things that I can do for them. But for the most part, like 99% of the time, all I will do is ask questions because I don't know their lives. And whilst I'm interested, I wouldn't be a very good coach if I wasn't interested in the people that were sat in front of me. Whilst I'm interested, I'm not part of their life. I'm not one of their friends. I'm not one of their colleagues at work or anything like that. I'm specifically someone from the outside. And as a result, when I come in and ask questions, I don't know the answers. And I don't pretend to know the answers. They may assume I do, but it's never something that I would really suggest, because I don't. But they can usually answer my questions, even if it's a tough question to ask or a touchy subject. We can usually get there because it's their life. They are the experts in their own version of reality. If I'm walking in and someone wants to talk to me about their weight, and I, as a what can I do about this besides just going to the gym and whatever else? And I sit down and I start asking questions in regards to kind of what they usually do, what are the pros and cons of that, things like that. They can usually work out what they actually want to do and how they want to do it. And so I'm not. Yeah, coaching isn't about telling people how to live their lives. It's helping them realize how they want to live their lives and what they can do about it. You know, even before even before I became a coach, even before I kind of immersed myself in the literature around coaching and so on and so forth. One of the things that made me realize that I didn't want to be in management was because I sat down and started asking myself questions. You know, what was it that made me take this job? Well, the money, sure, but at the same time it was I like working with people. I like being able to take control of a situation and change it. I like being able to achieve goals. I like being able to push myself and test myself against things. Um, you know, I like to make sure that the people who are doing a good job don't get shat on from above. I don't necessarily care about rewarding them, but when you've got a team of good people doing a great job, you know, who are usually underappreciated, especially within retail, then you know, I didn't like seeing those people crapped on, either by the customers around them or by the, the management above them. And I did my best to minimise the impact of that. But those were all important things to me, and I was realising after a while that I just wasn't making the impact or getting the results that I wanted, and things like that. And I was getting burned out by it. I was getting very stressed. Things were beginning to get very straightforward and too regimented. And whilst I could say I was comfortable, I wasn't happy, and I wasn't. Um, you know, I was always looking for something else, but nothing ever really seemed to turn up. But the looking for it was literally looking out the front of the door of the store that I was working in. It wasn't going out and finding stuff. It wasn't putting myself outside of my secure comfort zone at the time to find things that would help me get where I wanted to go. And yeah, it was a tough thing to do, to start going, right, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave. I'm going to set up my own practice. I'm going to do my qualifications and get those, you know, sorted and put to one side. I'm going to then like try and push myself. I did things like I got accredited as a disc profiler, to add another string to my bow. And you know, I did all those things, and each one that I did was very liberating. It made me, you know, when I went back to work as I was doing this whilst I was still working, I'm sure that some of the people that I was working with were really, I'm sure I got on some people's nerves with how enthusiastic I was um, about these things. I enjoyed having the discussions with people and explaining things to them. And yet then I went my own way, I'm very thankful to the boss that I had at the time, a guy called Steve, who pulled me to one side, sat me down, and actually said, "Are you sure that this is what you want to do? Are you sure that you want to leave? Are you sure that you want to go off and do this? Are you sure you don't want to push on into further up the management where it's more secure, it's safe, it looks good on a CV, are you sure you don't want to do that?" And you know, I'm now working for myself and I'm getting by, and you know, I'm happy that I took the risk, because taking the risk and losing security and trying to push myself forward was important. And yeah, it's not been easy. It's been incredibly hard by myself in the area that I'm in to try and make headway. But again, it's something that's working slowly. So, you know, let me ask you guys, what experiences have you had with coaching, if any? What perceptions do you currently have about coaches? I know we're often ridiculed in the media, and in many cases that's completely justified. But um, yeah, tell me what you think in the comments down below. And yeah, if you found this video interesting, or at the very least entertaining as I ramble, then please leave me a like and subscribe. Otherwise, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.